Good evening and welcome back to the Naenae Bowling Club in Lower Hutt for day one of the Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals. Already we have brought you 6 matches today and now down to the final 2. And next up it's Tauranga Gold from Bay of Plenty up against North East Valley from the Dunedin Centre. And then we still have the nightcap to come later on. Temuka Magpies from South Canterbury up against the Taradale Tigers from Hawke's Bay. Brenton Vinisroy in commentary along with Kevin Gledhill. Kevin, a very good evening to you. Another good game and prospect hopefully here. And what's been a slightly cooler evening now. And then we had the beautiful hot day. But it will be interesting to see exactly how that changes the conditions here at the Bowling Green.
Yeah, it's been a good day of bowls throughout the whole day, and I'm sure the competitors have enjoyed the green. I've enjoyed being commentating not just with yourself but with Kevin Hickland, and I reckon this game will be another good one. They've all been good games, very close as you expect. Very competitive bowls here to this weekend, and there's some very, very competent teams.
Yeah, the format certainly brings it out. Close nature of it, fast nature of course. Mixed triples, 2 sets of 5 ends each. Tauranga Gold with their lead, Caitlin Thomson. Number 2, Angela Stephen, and Cliff Webber is their skip. And for North East Valley, their lead is Michelle Fallow. Their number 2 is Keanu Darby, and their skip is Sarah Scott. Keanu Darby just playing his second. First end of the first set.
And I'm not too sure Keanu Darby will be happy with that bowl. It was a little bit deep, but over the head, and that's where you want your bowls to be, so you can throw the jack if need be.
Yeah, certainly. Skip won't be too disappointed with it. You're right, it wasn't exactly where I think he was trying to go, but not a bad home, as they say. Now Angela Stephen, second.
She also has been rather deep, just not getting the line and length on this first end.
And we've found that, haven't we, with the first few ends, a bit of a warm-up, getting used to this TV green, which is obviously different to the others. And as I mentioned here, the temperature has dropped in the last hour or so, so it may be playing a bit different to what it was, for the earlier matches as well.
I agree. I mean, as the day wears on, the green surface and how the bowls react to it do change. And all these players have played most of their games today in the other rinks, and they've come onto the TV rink, and they'll take a little while to adjust.
So Tauranga Gold, as you can see, that yellow bowl just to the left of the jack, holding shot as the skips now make their way to the mat. Cliff Webber for Tauranga, and Sarah Scott for North East Valley. Sarah Scott, obviously a very accomplished player, both nationally and in the Dunedin Centre.
She certainly is. Sarah Scott is the daughter of, I think, either Terry or Jim Scott from the North East Valley Dunedin region, and she is a nationally ranked player of renown.
Yeah, very good player. Not a bad first up bowl from Cliff Webber. David Burridge mark indicating that Tauranga Gold now, in fact, holding 2.
So Sarah Scott with her first delivery. And as we watch this ball coming down into the head, it's a backhand shot. Looking to clip that ball, but not quite, and running past only by about a metre though. A very good first effort.
Yeah, good attacking bowl from Sarah Scott. Was not far away from sitting on that bowl, and she got a bit more of it. Might have trailed right to the jack.
It's the turn of Cliff Webber now, the skip for the Tauranga Gold side, to bring his first delivery in. It's coming a little bit deep and a little bit wide as they start to get used to the green, as you said earlier, and the conditions a bit colder this time of the day.
Yeah, for those who are familiar with the Naenae Bowling Club, you consider the temperature at the moment balmy compared to what we've had in previous years here. Although everyone's beside me got the Bowls New Zealand puffer jackets on. It's not that cold. Kevin and I are both still in the polo shirts. There's no chicken skin or anything.
Certainly
Pretty
not.
comfortable conditions, but colder than it has been earlier in the day, and it can get very cold here. And as you can see, none of the players have got jumpers on. We've live streamed and broadcasted games from here previous years, and players have been with thermals on and jackets. That's not the case. Tauranga Gold strike first in this third round game in Section 4 of the Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals. They score 2-0 in the first end of 5 first set.
Often that first set of a game, you're just, as you know, working out the green, working out the length and the weight, just getting your confidence game going, and it'll be a good confidence booster for the Tauranga Gold side to get those first points on the board.
As I mentioned, this is the third round for this section, so we will bring you an update from where the table is about halfway through this match. So after this set, we should have updates for you from the previous 2 rounds and to see how this section 4 is playing out, and also section 3, the ones playing this afternoon and evening. Section 1 and 2 play this morning and early this afternoon. And bring you up to date with how those sit as well at the end of this set.
Michelle Fallows is the lead player for the North East Valley team. Just delivered a very good ball within the circle, only about a mat length away, just in behind the kitty.
Well, we mentioned that weren't quite finding their range first end. Well, it's been a pretty good start second end from both leads. Both Michelle Fallow and also Caitlin Thomson, who is in picture here. Going on the backhand. Watching this one down. It's going to come up short. Just under the centre line, but not a bad bowl.
No, it's not a bad bowl. It's probably about 2 mat lengths away from the kitty. And as you know, short bowls can be a nuisance. But, yeah, she just didn't quite get the right weight.
Interestingly enough, both these sides of the 2 female players, the games we've covered earlier today with 2 male and 1 female. Of course, it doesn't matter as long as you've got both male and female. So Sarah Scott, the first skip we've covered so far this afternoon. First female skip, that is. Angela Stephen.
And she's chosen the forehand to bring her first bowl down. She's getting around the wing bowl, but it's going to be a little bit too deep and probably run into the ditch.
Yeah, saw that collected, I think, by Cliff Webber. So number 2 is trying to capitalise on a good start from their 2 leads.
Keanu Darby coming down with a very, very good arcing bowl to the kitty. He's going to be able to rest on the blue bowl, but not probably take the shot, but be a good second shot.
Yeah, I think there might have been a North East Valley bowl he rested on, so it should be a couple for North East Valley. Dropped a 2 on the first end, but holding a couple here. Not a bad reply, but again, the weight just a bit too much, but not a bad home.
Any bowl over the head is a good home because in these competitions, when there's only 5 ends, most skips are likely to have a small runner. So if it's behind the kitty, it's likely to come into play.
Keanu Darby follow this down, along with Michelle Fallow, Angela Stephen and Caitlin Thomson. Doesn't like this one. Stopped watching it halfway down. They knew.
Yeah.
Didn't have the weight.
They know as soon as it leaves their hand, you know, whether it's got the right weight or not. And, yeah, they can clearly tell on that bowl there it was far too short. But bowls is all about correction. And you have 2 bowls. If you don't do the first bowl very well, you've got another bowl to correct, and often that's the case.
So Cliff Webber, Tauranga Gold, 2 down on the head.
And he's coming down with a forehand delivery. He was very deliberate in his pre-shot routine. But I think he's going to come underneath that short bow and, yeah, not end where he would like.
Yeah, one of the nuisance short bowls. That didn't quite have the line anyway. It was a touch narrow was Cliff Webber. Sarah Scott with her first of this second end, the Northeast Valley skip. Certainly starting on a wider line. She started too wide because we have found if you start wide, too wide, it just doesn't come back.
That's so true, Brendan. You've noticed already in this game that if you're too wide, it just doesn't bite onto the surface and come home. It will just carry on running forward. And it's very precise getting your line and the weight.
Well, it seems like it's really millimetres between the right line and the wrong line on that wide side. Has over adjustment here. This looks like it just doesn't quite have the weight, unfortunately, from Cliff Webber. It's going to sit along as first, running its way back to the centre line, but well underweight. So
he'll be disappointed with those two bowls because as a skip, they always say skips have to be up and they have to be right into the bowls, and he was far too short on that occasion.
So now an opportunity for his opposition skip, Sarah Scott, to add a third to the count here. Try and take the lead in this first set. Has it got enough? I don't think so. It's going to finish up short, urging it on. Is it enough? Two will be taken away. Is it going to be a measure for third? No, happy with just the two, Northeast Valley. So we're all tied up at 2 apiece. Tauranga Gold and Northeast Valley, this third round match in Section 4 of the National Interclub Bowls3Five Finals here at Naenae. Dave Burridge is coming into pitch our marker for this match, indicating indeed there's 2 black paddles for Northeast Valley. No mucking around in this format, Kevin. Straight on the mat down the other end.
Yeah, you've got to get straight onto it. There's only 5 ends per set, and you've got to get straight into the game because, yeah, if teams get a bit of a march on you and get the confidence up and they get some points, very hard to peg them back. You can understand it's the game's all over within about 40 minutes.
Yeah, Michelle Fallow would like to have that one back. We'll see how Caitlin Thomson goes with her first. Comes around that short bowl of Angela Thompson's. It's going to come up a bit short, but certainly was on a good track.
Yeah, stay there. Follow that one down.
Well, the kitty's at a shorter length, probably the medium length.
Throw one down here.
And so they've got to quickly adjust to a different line slightly and a different weight. The previous end was a bit longer. So this will be one of these, who's going to outdraw each other on this end and who's going to get to the kitty first. Normally the bowler that gets to the kitty first is often the bowler that wins that end.
Yeah, that's why the leads play such an important role in this format of the game. Mixed triples. And 2 bowl triples at that. So, grabbing the shot back was Michelle Fallow with her second. Now, Caitlin Thomson watching this one intently down.
Just not quite being able to get the bowl to come and arc into the kitty and get the finish he requires on the bowl. And as you said earlier, perhaps the coldness of this particular
starting to have an impact.
Maybe starting to have an impact. The bowl's just not doing what you expect it to do.
Yeah, maybe a narrower line is now
Very good.
the better one. As Keanu Darby runs into a bowl of Michelle Fallow. And now number 2 for Tauranga Gold, Angela Stevens, just getting a bit of direction from her skip, Cliff Webber. Angela mic'd up for us for this game, along with Sarah Scott.
Angela Stevens staying low on that delivery. I beg your pardon. It must be Angela Stevens, and she's come around in a very, very good position to finish her bowl.
Could be down to that one.
Sarah Scott is telling Keanu Darby that she could be down now. That previous bowl of Angela Stevens might have taken shot. Just wants a similar bowl to what he played previously.
Keanu Darby coming down on a narrow line, but he is running
Very good.
across the head, but he's got a nice little slide and
Yeah, got a bit of fortune there.
it could be in the count.
And that should be the one. At East Valley holding again. Dunedin champs up against the Bay of Plenty champions. Tauranga gold. So a
And
decent
just-
line here. If she just gets inside that Keanu Darby bowl, unfortunate not to. Promotes that bowl and might make it 2 now for
So it's going with this.
Northeast Valley. Indeed it is.
The bowls are definitely around the head, you know, about a mat length on the left and the right and the centre and behind. So they've done their job trying to get the bowls within the circle. And now Cliff Webber is the skip. He's got to make a decision here as to which hand he plays. There's danger on both hands. So it looks like he might be giving direction to come on his backhand and try and, yeah, get inside the bowl of Keanu Darby, the green bowl, when he gets his opportunity.
Yeah, of course, Sarah Scott will be the happy of the two skips on the mat, holding a couple, holding all the cards really. Cliff Webber has to make something happen here, and pretty difficult corridors for him. Keanu Darby happy with that bowl.
Just around
Yeah,
me.
very good position bowl there,
Shoulder
Brendan,
up here.
in case the kitty were to move. Cliff Webber on his backhand. He's chosen to come through the porthole there. If he can get underneath that bowl, it might be a pretty good
Hold
shot.
the feet.
Oh, that worked out perfectly. That what should be shots. Hard to tell from this angle. It's going to be close. I think our marker, Dave Burridge, wants to have a bit of a closer look as well.
Yeah, it worked out very well. He clipped the ball that he needed to into a closer position by the jack.
Well, he was
And they
short,
carried
wasn't he,
it.
with his
Yeah.
last 2 bowls previous end. So he made sure he was up this time. Well played.
Exactly.
Oh, Lordy.
And narrow there, Sarah Scott.
Who are you holding? This is level. Just drawing. Little more green now. Just the edge of that would be good.
Great direction there by Angela Stephen. Great to have that insight with the mic'd up player as well. Bringing you right onto the green here at Naenae. Trying to add a second to the count is Cliff Webber.
He's taken a good arc, good line, but
Fair
it's
attempt.
Yeah, good effort.
just going to drop him behind. But they'll be happy with the one.
Yeah, considering they were trailing before the skips made their way to the mat, so well executed by Cliff Webber. With Tauranga gold back in front, 3-2. And they're placing the jack in the middle spot. Bit of a conversation between Caitlin Thomson and her skip, Cliff Webber. Decided to go with the middle of the 3 targets. So 3 ends played, first set. Tauranga gold with the narrow lead. Still very much up for grabs this first set. No power plays called yet. They've all been played in the second set in the matches I've brought to you so far today. And it is the usual trend. I love a bit of risk-taking in that first set. I'd love to see the dice rolled in that first set. Will we see it?
Well, when you talk about the power plays, Brendan, it's a crucial decision. Do you take it when you've just won the head, or do you take it when the opposition have? Because you can then choose the length. And if you choose the length and call the power play and then don't deliver, guess what? The other team will actually take the advantage and you've lost the opportunity to score double points.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a very crucial decision when and whether you take it when you've won the head or if the other opposition have won the head.
Yeah, and you've taken it because you want the last bowl.
True.
That's the toss-up, whether you want to dictate the length or you're happy with whatever length is played and you just want that final bowl to be the decision maker
Yeah.
of
correct.
an end. So, yeah, I find it fascinating how the power play is used. Most of it's usually used as a reactive measure rather than a proactive measure. And I'd love to see it sometimes used in the first set.
Well, when they do the power play, they have confidence in their own players to be able to deliver no matter what length the jack is thrown to or placed. And so it probably doesn't really matter, perhaps, if they've got that much confidence in their players to try and get close to the kitty. And most of these players are very proficient. They've first of all had to win their own club title in the 3-5s, then go ahead and win their regional 3-5s to be in this, dance. So we say, the major finals this weekend. So they're all capable players.
Absolutely. Players that are not just capable at their club level, but at their centre and now nationally. And players like Sarah Scott and Keanu Darby have been in and around national squads as well. Certainly two top players nationally, but Tauranga Gold putting up a great contest so far against, I suppose, the bigger name players. Been a very good tussle between these two in the fourth end now, first set.
When you talk about name players, though, Brendan, each player still has to, bowl the bowl, and they still have to concentrate on the day, on the event, and look at the situation and decide what to do. And every player with a bowl in his hand is capable of doing that. So that's why we get some really close games. Top teams can be beaten. I mean, the Elmwood team was beaten this morning by the Hastings Hornets.
Well, we see in Section 2, Dobson as well, the West Coast, one of the smaller clubs nationally. And they're looking good, top of Section 2, along with Elmwood Park. So it shows the beauty of this game. All fighting for those 2 spots in each section to make quarterfinals come Sunday, of course. So another day of section play, and all 4 sections tomorrow.
Each team will play 7 games, and as you said, Brendan, the first and second in each section, they go through to the semi-finals and finals day on Sunday. So that was a good correction bowl there from Keanu Darby. His first one wasn't as close as he'd like.
Could just as easily just hit behind him. But
And currently the North East Valley do have the shot from that last bowl of Keanu Darby.
I think this one, but he's thinking
Darby.
that makes a second.
Yeah, for those who maybe watched Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals last year or the year before, you'll notice there's a lot more teams this time around. So previously just had 8 or so teams fighting it out for spots in the Bowls3Five televised league, but now you've got all the inter-centre champions, or the centre champions rather, so 24 of the 27 centres are represented, along with the 8 sides who are supposed to be in the Bowls3Five televised league. So we do have multiple representatives from a few of the centres. I think we might have 3 from the Nelson Centre. It shows the strength of bowls in that part of the world when you've got Stoke, Nelson and United all represented.
Well, it all came about because they cancelled the Sky 3-5s program, and that allowed those teams, I think there are 8 of them, to be able to come and play in this weekend's event. So that's why we've got 32 teams.
Exactly right, which has made a perfect number for 8 in each section.
Got only 1 down now.
So make 2 from each
Just
section to go to
drawing
quarterfinals.
that bowl. There's your jack here. It's too far, 2 steps past the yellow.
Picture painted well there by Angela Stephen, saying what Cliff Webber needs to do, saying how far the bowl that she wants to treat as the jack is past the head, the initial head.
Cliff Webber coming down now on his backhand, trying to do what his number 2 gave the direction for him to do, and he's done just that. Excellent bowl.
Very good bowl there from Cliff Webber. Near perfect. Great instructions from Angela Stephen and followed to a tee by Cliff Webber.
And it's good when you've got your number 2 in your team who can give you the exact, precise directions you need, and then have the trust that the bowler that you have given that direction to can do the shot. And that was what you saw just then.
Yeah, we saw it executed superbly between Deb White and Aidan Takarua. Now Angela Stephen and Cliff Webber doing exactly the same thing. Such an important relationship with your 3 and your 4, if you're playing 4s, or your 2 and 3. The skip, so important, as Sarah Scott trying to beat that previous bowl and is not far away, playing with a bit of extra weight to try and knock away the shot bowl. That's one more to Tauranga Gold, so they now lead 4-2 in the first set. I was just looking around to see if maybe they're going to call a power play, but no, nothing called. So, two-shot advantage Tauranga have.
Power play?
Oh, power play. Yeah, it does come.
Black one.
So, Sarah Scott for North East Valley's called the power play. Oh, I'd love to see it because, you know, you win, you just pick up a one, you draw the first set. And then it's all to play for second set. So, I think it's definitely worth rolling the dice.
Yeah, I think so as well, Brendan. And let's just wait till we see this end played out. The power play has been called. Double points on offer. If you get the winning shot, you'll double your point score, and that could be a very telling advantage, you know, that you can leap above your opponent.
Yeah, and again, the lead's so important here in the power play, either trying to defend the power play or to capitalise on it. So, big bowls here for Michelle Fallow. Needs to get the better of her opposite, Caitlin Thomson.
Well, the pressure's on when the power play is called from both teams, as you just said, Brendan. I mean, the lead for the team who called the power play and the two, they know they've got to get close because there's so much at stake, and the others are in a defensive mode, and they've got to try and prevent that. Convert the shot if they get the shot, and so it's a great little contest when the power play is called. Because when all said and done, Brendan, you're only competing against your opposition lead or pair, number two. You're not competing against the whole team. You just have to make sure your two bowlers are close, take the direction of the skip for the number two, try and position them and so on. And if you do your job, you normally come out on the winning end of the game.
Well, they've arguably got the hardest and the easiest job, don't they, the lead, in that respect. Because they've got a pretty... Usually just draw to the jack is their job. And if they do it well, they really set it up for their opponents, or for their team rather. But if they don't execute, then it becomes very difficult. Unfortunate there to run into the short bowl was Angela Stephen.
But the Tauranga Gold do have two shots on the head. No, just the one shot on the power play.
Oh, that took that little wobble that we saw in the previous game as well.
Oh, do.
A little a chuckle from Sarah Scott. Can't quite believe that worked out that way. That bowl straightened. That's something. Yeah. Newly laid green here at Naenae, and there still seems like there's a few gremlins in it. I saw that Aiden Takarua bowl do something similar previous match.
Oh, a good response there from the number two for the Tauranga Gold team, Caitlin Thomson.
Just stay in there, there's a shot.
Beg your pardon, it was Angela Stevens.
Keanu Darby, you got a bit fortunate with that little straighten on the green previously, looking to respond. He's not going to get a touch this time on side bowl, runs through.
He was certainly looking to try and get a plant on his own bowl and bring it forward. I think that was his intention, but it just slid past the kitty and past the bowl he was trying to get a small plant on.
So Tauranga Gold looking good here as the skips change over. Holding a couple with a two-shot advantage, playing the fifth and final end first set. Cliff Webber with his very deliberate routine on the mat. Takes his time, then delivers. Interested as Angela Stephen if it gets around, but It's just going to run into the short bowl, but it'll promote it, so it does a pretty good job, and that's why there was a pretty safe bowl to play. If you get around it, great. If you run into your short bowl, you can promote it, so that doesn't add to the count. Certainly solidifies their second shot, Tauranga Gold.
Tauranga Gold holding 2 shots on this power play that Northeast Valley called. Pressure is on them to try and wrest those 2 shots off them.
Yeah, it's all on Sarah Scott, their skip. Oh, she's got the
Certainly
jack
the
and
jack.
killed the end by the looks of it.
Gone.
It certainly has, so it's going to be respot on the 2 metre mark. Now, who has the tee?
Go down to this one, drawing to the tee. This hand.
So it's just a 1 by the sounds of things for Northeast Valley. Thank you very much, Angela Stephen, the 3rd member of our commentary team. We can't tell from our angle. So, of course, 1 will be doubled to 2 as it currently stands and will be tied up. So, big bowl now for Cliff Webber. Shows how quickly it can turn in this format. 2 down to now 1 up. Double to 2, of course, on the power play. Trying to draw to the 2 metre mark.
Good effort.
He's just going to slide by, but it wasn't a bad attempt.
Yep.
It'll stay up, and now a chance to win the first set here. Keanu Darby trying to spell out exactly the target for his skip. Trying to draw.
Currently holding 2 shots. They can draw a 3rd and they'll win the first set.
To the tee.
Looks pretty good,
It's
Brendan.
not far away. Keanu Darby likes it. Oh, it's better than not too bad. It's brilliant.
What a brilliant shot there. Under pressure, they had 2 shots. She first of all trailed the jack to take the advantage away from the Tauranga Gold side. And with that last bowl, trailing the jack, they have won the first set.
So 2 is doubled to 4, and that is a 6-4 set in Northeast Valley's favour. Very well executed power play. Certainly it paid off, and all came down to their skip. First executed by moving the jack, killing it, respotted on the 2 metre mark. And now Northeast Valley, are they having just a big discussion about where they want the jack, are they? No, not quite sure what. Maybe.
They won the set. You won the set. So it's your start.
Yeah, it depends on who had the toss at the start of the game and what happens now, whether they decide to take the mat or give it away to the opposition. They're deciding to take the mat.
Yeah, that's what was being worked out. And we're now got a chance to run you through the results from earlier today. So Section 1 and Section 2 I updated earlier in the day, but this is Section 3. So far, Gore Rams, who we saw earlier, and the Taradale Tigers are the 2 unbeaten sides after 2 rounds of 4 that they'll play today. And then the Manurewa Kites, Masterton, Aramahor, and the Temuka Magpies, the 4 sides with 1 win and 1 defeat, and United from Nelson and Kerry Crushers from the far north, winless so far, but still very much up for grabs in Section 3. And also, this game is a Section 4 game, and results in so far, Point Chevalier Pirates, 2 wins from 2. We saw them earlier today as well here on our televised rink. Stoke Thunder, Whangarei and Tauranga Gold, who are in action, of course, here right now, all with 1 win from 1. Northeast Valley have had a win and a loss. And then the sides yet to pick up a win to Karo, Canterbury 2017, and Hormai from Counties Manukau, who we saw also in action earlier against Point Chev. So that's the picture so far in these 2 sections, which are still playing this afternoon and this evening. We are seeing a Section 4 game, 3rd round action between Tauranga Gold and Northeast Valley. Northeast Valley winning the first set 6-4. And quickly to touch on the other sections at the moment, Nelson Spirit and Stokes Valley, the 2 only unbeaten sides in Section 1. They lead that. And in Section 2, the leading sides, Dobson out of the West Coast and Elmwood Park Saints out of Christchurch, 3 wins and 1 defeat from their 4 rounds so far. So another day of section play tomorrow to decide our quarter-finalists for Sunday.
Yeah, pretty good bowl there from Keanu Darby. Just brought it in close to the kitty. Some of these teams today will have played 4 games by the end of this evening's game. And some will have played 3. Some played 3 on Friday and 4 on Saturday, and others have had 4 today and 3 tomorrow. But they all play 7 games to try and get into that semi-final, finals day on Sunday.
And these sides will be back early tomorrow afternoon. So Section 1 and 2 have got the morning and early afternoon slot, and Sections 3 and 4 with the afternoon and evening.
Keanu Darby trying to come under his first bowl. It's looking likely if he gets a bit of a slide, we'll push it towards the kitty. Good bowl. Nice little clip on the outside of that bowl that brought it in closer to the kitty. He'll be pleased with that.
I think shown his quality in the last couple of ends. Keanu Darby, some great bowls. Of course, it was Sarah Scott who really capitalised on it at the end of that first set. But Keanu Darby had his moments as well, and a good comeback from Northeast Valley after falling 4-2 behind.
Bit of discussion, but also a bit of humour going on between the skips and the number 2. They're, quite relaxed, and but they're giving each other, encouragement and working out what shot selection they'll have now.
Oh, it's very tight first set, wasn't it? Difference being a power play called by Northeast Valley in that 5th and final end. Otherwise, there was nothing between them. It was 4 apiece if it wasn't for the power play.
And it was the 2 skip bowls that Sarah Scott put down. First of all, to kill the end, and then to draw the shot and to make it, in fact, 4, which got them through, 2 shots and double points, got them through to win the first set.
Yep. All yours.
Getting a bit of cover in there. Sarah Scott holding course on the head. All the work to do for her opposite, Cliff Webber.
He's coming on the forehand. He's got a couple of options here. He could trail the jack back.
Yeah, looks narrow, doesn't he?
Looks very narrow, and
might get a bit of touch of fortune. I thought maybe if he got off that short, wide bowl, he might have trailed back towards the jack, but missed everything. He'll get another opportunity after the second bowl of the first end, second set. Sarah Scott.
this looks on a pretty good arc to the kitty this time, Brendan. It's going to certainly sit in the position where they should have second shot if it drops.
Yeah, there's not much in there, is there? I think that bowl out to the right, the yellow bowl, is just holding second shot. Yeah, indication there by David Burridge. Still just one Northeast Valley holding. Can't be much between those two bowls, though, of Northeast Valleys alongside that yellow bowl. So now can Cliff Webber steal it back for Tauranga.
Certainly a tighter line here, Brendan.
Urged on by Angela Stephen. Looks handy. Oh, looks very, very good. Great bowl from Cliff Webber. The steps, the skips rather, coming to play. And Tauranga Gold grab it. 1-0. They now lead in this second set. One end played of 5. Set which Tauranga must win if we're to go to a tiebreaker end. So they still have the power play up their sleeve.
That was a very controlled final delivery from Cliff Webber. He knew he had to get in there and underneath that. You can see that the line he chose was a little bit less than the one of his previous bowl. He judged it to perfection. Very good, precise bowl to take that shot. So it's the lead for the Tauranga Gold team. Angela Stevens delivering her first, Caitlin Thomson.
We've both written them down in the wrong order, haven't we, Kevin? Making it difficult for ourselves. I've made the same mistake myself, but yeah, Caitlin Thomson off the front for Tauranga Gold. Tall young player.
Righto, let's try and get it right this time. Caitlin Thomson will deliver her second bowl. Her first, although it was Jack even, And this one's going to come under the line, so she's overcorrected on this occasion, Brendan.
Yeah, her weight was near perfect with her first, but yeah, got everything a bit wrong with the second, unfortunately. Probably would have preferred if he called her Angela Stephen that time.
Let's share the blame.
Yeah.
Very good.
Handy bowl.
Very handy bowl, and you'll notice there Sarah Scott clapping that delivery as it came to rest. She's happy with what she saw there from
I'll try
her
one.
lead, Michelle Fallow. Rightio, it's the turn of the number 2 for the Tauranga Gold team, Angela Thomson. As she brings her bowl arcing back to the kitty, but not quite getting there.
Keanu Darby, number 2 for Northeast Valley. Watching this one intently. It's just going to find its way through a little corridor to the left of screen there and find its way pretty much back to the centre line. Just quite the weight required to grab shot. Angela Stephen. Is she going to come through exactly the same corridor? Not quite. It's a touch off
Yeah, the track's really good.
her own.
To meet it.
Finds a similar home to the previous of Keanu Darby. Sarah Scott saying to Keanu Darby, just try and follow the same track as your previous. And you just touch less weight. Let's find its way through the same corridor and pretty much exactly what Sarah Scott asked for.
Pretty good shot.
Second bowl by Keanu Darby.
Give it back to
And
see what happens.
holding one, Tauranga, as the skips change over. Both number 2s having a chat with their skips before they make their way to the mat.
And you'll see there Keanu Darby has given direction to his skip to try to just rest on that shot bowl on the front, try and get 2 out of the count. Cliff Webber now to have his first delivery. He's choosing to run on the forehand. It's a very short end, this one, Brendan, and it's coming home
Good home.
quite nicely, but it's just going to run by. Be the second shot, though.
Yeah, not a bad bowl at all, that. Trying to come through this tight corridor on the forehand side. Sarah Scott says, no, I'm going to try on the backhand instead.
Sarah Scott on a very short end, coming on her backhand. And I think she will take the shot with that delivery.
Should do, you
Down with
think.
that one.
Great bowl from Sarah
Follow
Scott,
down here.
indeed.
Resting the
Dave.
ball.
Dave Burridge indicating our marker. Northeast Valley now holding. Instructions coming from Angela Stephen to skip Cliff Webber. And now delivers, also following down that Sarah Scott delivery on the backhand. Just trying to sit on the Sarah Scott bowl if possible. If he doesn't find the jack, that is. This is a very good response. And he was really just a touch wide. Half a bowl wide. Great effort from Cliff Webber not to be.
That's all it was, Brendan, just a touch wide. He had the right intention, but it just didn't quite come off. But Sarah Scott has the advantage now with the shot, and she's going to try and add to the count.
Don't think it's got the weight.
One.
Yeah, just going to be one. One to Northeast Valley, so this very close contest continues. It's now one apiece. 2 ends gone. Second set after Northeast Valley took the first 6-4.
And we've yet to see the power play thrown in by the Tauranga Gold team.
Yeah, just having a quick look at the skip. Cliff Webber to see if there's any kind of indication from him. No, doesn't seem to be. Keeping that in their back pocket.
2 ends completed in the final set, or maybe this final set, the second set of this game.
Keanu Darby was just peering out outside the TV ring to see what's happening on the other greens here at Naenae, the indoor complex here at Naenae Bowling Club. A number of matches taking place alongside this one in both this section, Section 4 and Section 3.
Caitlin Thomson, her first delivery on the forehand. Very bright yellow bowls coming towards a similarly bright yellow kitty.
Playing to the deepest target as well. That's a decent start.
Yeah, stay there.
Don't know if we'd had the full length end yet. We had the middle and the short, I think. This is the first time they've decided to play the full length. Northeast Valley, after winning the previous end, deciding to play this length in the third end, second set.
Study and concentration as she goes through her pre-shot routine and now delivers the bowl. This is Caitlin Thomson, the lead for the Tauranga Gold side. She holds shot currently.
One down.
Let's go back bowl now.
There.
Bowl from Caitlin Thomson. Stayed up. Still on the green. Right on that centre line, as you can see there, right in front of the number. Yellow bowl of Caitlin Thomson.
There is a track in there.
Could be handy.
Underneath that.
And you hear Sarah Scott there say there is a track there on the backhand. Keanu Darby lining up on the backhand to try and do just that.
While you're watching here, make sure you give a like to our Bowls New Zealand YouTube channel. Subscribe as well. It's great that we'll be able to bring you this coverage here from the Naenae Bowling Club on the Bowls New Zealand YouTube channel. So while you're there, give us a like and subscribe.
Angela Stevens now to deliver her first bowl in this end. She's cut the line a little bit, I believe, unless she's heading directly toward the bowl she wants to bounce up. That's a great bowl.
Yeah, just a narrow kind of track she found that worked for her. It stayed there. I was expecting the same, Kevin, that was going to come well under the line, but didn't. Good bowl.
So a bit more green then.
Laughing to herself there, Angela Stephen, as she knows she needs to give it a bit more green, but the last bowl didn't seemingly need the green. It's given this one a lot more, but it's just going to stay out there. Now this might end up in the ditch. Yeah, it does. So that will be out of play. Overcorrection.
So the Tauranga Gold team clearly holding 2 shots at the moment from their lead in number 2, getting bowls within a mat length of the kitty.
Yeah, in a good position here at Tauranga Gold. Just makes me think, would have been even better if they called their power play, Kevin.
Well, they certainly haven't decided to call a power play yet, and if they leave it too late and the 5 ends go, you can't have it. It's you've got to call it within the next 3 ends. But there have been some games won already this morning and this afternoon, Brendan, I believe, that didn't use a power play.
I've known skips just forget about it. They're so involved in the game, they just forget they've got the power play.
They get so wrapped up in the game and just forget about that option.
And sometimes it becomes sort of irrelevant. You might be ahead already, and you don't even need the power play in that final end. That's when it's sort of wasted. So
Yep, here you go.
I thought it would have been a decent opportunity to play it, but most often, as I mentioned earlier in the call, most skips use it as a reactive measure. They've just dropped a number, they've just fallen behind, they want to try and get back in a set, and they call the power play rather than as an attacking and proactive measure, which they could have done here because they're looking good at the moment, holding a couple.
Line's very good, Cliff.
You hear there from Angela Stephen. That was a good line, just need to correct the weight with his next. Sarah Scott will have a say on this though, with her second bowl of this third end, second set. This match very evenly poised. The power play in was the difference in the first set. Will it be the difference again in the second set? Still up the sleeve of Tauranga Gold. Jack hunting here is Sarah Scott, and she's got it again, just like she did at the end of that first set.
Oh,
now her old shot, Kevin. Oh, it's right next to the Keanu Darby bowl, so it's found a brilliant home. That's 2 there, they're holding now. So from 2 down, and now hold 2. Brilliant from Sarah Scott again.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, they were 2 down, and now they've gone 2 up. That's a 4-shot swing, and that's given the lead back to the Northeast Valley team with a very, very good bowl from their skip, Sarah Scott.
No, she has been the difference, hasn't she, so
She
far?
certainly has, yes.
She's a difference maker in the first set, now in the second set. 2 down to holding a couple. Cliff Webber's made his way down to the head to talk to his number 2, Angela Stephen, about what he can do. Has looked at what the picture is down there now that the jack's been moved. I don't know how he can even access the jack. He's going to have to try and do a draw into a pretty awkward part of the rink with that jack being moved. And really, I think the best he maybe can hope for is just cut it to 1 here. That wouldn't be a bad result. 2-1 down, two ends of play. Still got the power play up the sleeve.
Cliff Webber's bowl is on the way. He's trying to come through the middle here. He seems to be on line. Has he got the weight?
And he wanted to sit on that bowl, that blue bowl with the black speck. But it is through the hole, and now the power play to be called, I believe. So 2 to Northeast Valley, 3-1. They now lead after 3 ends of 5 first set, and the power play has now been called by Tauranga Gold. Can they execute like Northeast Valley did on their power play end? Because it was a difference in that first set. Northeast Valley, though, in a very good position here. Having won the first, 3-1 up in the second, 2 ends to play. This the all-important power play for Tauranga.
And as you said, Brendan, I mean, it's a reactive decision from the skip to play their power play. So they're reacting to the fact that the Northeast Valley team won that last end, and they've decided to play their power play.
Yeah, go that side.
Coming up short was Michelle Fallow for Northeast Valley with her first. Now, Caitlin Thomson for Tauranga. Smooth delivery, also very deliberate in her pre-bowl routine.
And she's just going to drop short. Good line.
Great
just
line.
Didn't have the right weight on that delivery.
Found its way back to that centre line perfectly. Just needed a bit more weight, a few feet more.
Michelle Fallow staying down over her knees as she places this bowl. You know, as they say, stay down and low. Try and get some extra weight on the bowl and bring it towards the kitty. But not to be. Reasonable weight, but just didn't come home. Expect a bit more weight on this bowl. It's on their backhand. But yet again, just not getting enough on it, but she certainly has the shot.
Yeah, more weight than the first, but still not enough. And Found it difficult, the leads so far. See how the number twos go. Firstly, Keanu Darby for North East Valley. Playing on the backhand.
Good track.
So it's Angela Stephen. She's put this bowl down on her backhand also. She's going to get a little slide off the short bowl, but not quite enough to take the shot away from the Tauranga Gold side. I beg your pardon. Yeah.
Keanu Darby now. Again on the backhand. See if he can make a better adjustment. Too much weight first time round. This looks like a very good adjustment. Applauded by Sarah Scott. Near perfect from the number two for North East Valley. Within a foot. Beautifully done by Keanu. And he now holds shot for North East Valley on the all-important Tauranga Gold power play.
Backhand delivery yet again, coming down. It's got a bit of weight on this one, trying to shift that bowl, and she has done that deliberately and very well.
Brilliantly done by Angela Stephen.
Brilliantly done. Just got the right weight, the right length and line, and didn't try and put too much on it, but just enough to push it out of the circle and reclaim the shot.
Oh, it needed something special to get rid of that Keanu Darby bowl, and she's done that, just that. And now look, from one down to now three up on the power play. That's doubled to six that currently stands. From 3-1 down, they go 7-3 up. Big, big bowl from Angela Stephen. Now,
big shift in momentum.
What can the skip do, Sarah Scott, for North East Valley? Can she get them out of trouble again? Of course, ideally, she wants to win the end, but if she can't, just wants to get something in the area, because they're holding three at the moment, Tauranga Gold, and really just a good second here will be a good result, but this is not going to change the picture. Sarah Scott, a rare short bowl from her.
The Cliff Webber is just going to be able to try and add to the count. You're not going to be too adventurous here. They're holding three. He just needs to get something close and try and take the advantage away from the North East Valley team, who will be trying to get closer than this.
Really, apart from those two bowls, one from Keanu Darby, one from Angela Stephen, they've struggled to get anywhere near the head. They've all been short, apart from Keanu Darby, of course, running one into the ditch, but can't be short here again, the skips. Especially Sarah Scott needs to get around those short bowls. Try and cut this deficit, which is currently at 3 for Tauranga. And I think it's an overcorrection. Too much on it. It's going to stay up, but
so much more.
So it's up to Cliff Webber now to add to the count.
Holding three, a chance to make this 4 and to really take command in the second set.
With a power play, take a real commanding lead in the second set.
Can he make it 8? Yeah. They'll be unassailable in the second set. This is going to add to the count. Maybe didn't want to disrupt things either.
He probably tried to play a bit safe.
Take the 3.
Yeah, take the 3.
If that's what it is.
3 have been kicked out.
Yeah. So it's at least 3, is it? Wow, big end for Tauranga Gold on their power play.
Too far away for me to tell. Which is your closest, that one?
Looks like they might get down on their knees and have a measure. They've already got 3 bowls out. If they can get 4, that'll make it 8, Brendan.
I think it's, she knew as soon as she went to measure for the 4th. Pretty clear it was 3, but big end on the power play. 3's doubled to 6, now a 7-3 advantage for Tauranga Gold. very much looking like we could be going to a tiebreaker end here this evening. One end to play, second set. Northeast Valley in need of 4 to share the second set to avoid going to a tiebreaker.
Hey? Tiebreaker. Yeah, unless we score 4 on this end.
Playing the 5th and final end of this second set. Caitlin Thomson. They've gone shorter here, Tauranga Gold, after Northeast Valley played a couple longer ends. Brought the jack up to the shortest possible. Reminder, we've still got one round of action to come for you on day one of the Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals here at Naenae Bowling Club. Tamuka Magpies, South Canterbury champions, up against the Taradale Tigers from Hawke's Bay. That to come following this one, which may be going to a tiebreaker end. Hope you are enjoying our coverage on Bowls New Zealand's YouTube page. While you're there, why not give us a like and subscribe to our Bowls3Five YouTube channel.
2 good bowls from Caitlin Thomson there, keeping the pressure on the Northeast Valley team. This is the last end of the second set. It's a short end as well.
Very good.
Equally good bowl there from the Northeast Valley lead, Michelle Fallow, to wrest that shot away.
Now Angela Stephen. Her first bowl of this 5th and final end, second set. Just want to make sure, that's a great bowl from Angela Stephen. I was just about to say, just wants to make sure it's not short, knowing that Northeast Valley need to score a big number.
Right, the pressure's on Keanu Darby. What can he do with this bowl? He's coming with a bit of weight on it. Trying to push that shot bowl through. And yes, he is able to move the kitty.
Has that killed it? Was it still in play?
Can I go that way?
I think it's still in play.
Still in play. Good bowl, because now you're out to the outside of the rink, and judgment on your delivery and your line is very crucial now.
Yeah, giving Northeast Valley maybe a sniff. Maybe they can score 4 here. Angela Stephen, no doubt, will have something to say about that. Draw one close, this tricky part of the rink to make near impossible for the Dunedin centre champs.
Down here, dragging the jack to here.
So Sarah Scott has called for trying to trail the jack, bringing it through to where she is standing, and that involves bringing your line in slightly and just try and get the correct weight.
And I think she knows she's asking a lot here as well, because
Yes.
there was a wry smile there, knowing I know I'm asking a lot, but if we're to pick up something special here, that's what I need.
Very difficult shot when it's hanging out on the side of the rink to trail the jack. But it was a good attempt from Keanu Darby, but yes, it's a very difficult shot.
Oh, knowing they need 4 here, now they're just looking, Sarah Scott's going, how do I pick up 4 from this?
As you said, Brendan, I think we're going to be going to a tiebreaker. It's going to be very difficult to get 4 shots. But you never can tell in bowls until the last bowl is played. Cliff Webber, though, he's holding 2 shots, and he'll just be trying to play safe. trying to anticipate where the jack might move, cover the bowls of the opposition team.
Yeah, pretty smart, I think, as long as it stays on the green.
It's back to the 2 metre in case the kitty is killed, and it moves back there. So
And just marking the bowls, that's all you really need to do. Mark some of the Northeast Valley bowls. You're holding shot, but, you know, you just don't want to drop a 4. And if you're marking the bowls of Northeast Valley, there's no way you can drop 4. Sarah Scott trying to do what Keanu Darby just missed out on doing. She can't drag the jack back to the area either. And now Cliff Webber try and go back to a similar kind of spot. If Sarah Scott is successful, 3rd time lucky for Northeast Valley.
yeah, pretty good delivery. Just in case she puts too much weight on the bowl and takes the kitty back, it could take it back to that bowl you just saw come through. I don't think she likes this one too much. We'll wait and see.
No, the body language suggested that, I think. And yet she's not going to find the target, but it might be enough for the shot.
So Northeast Valley must have gained that shot.
And it's 1 to Tauranga Gold indicated there.
No, 1 to Tauranga Gold.
Yeah. But it's academic really anyway. Northeast Valley needed a 4. So Tauranga Gold take out the 2nd set. And we are going to a tie-breaker end. And our 3rd round game in Section 4 to decide this contest between Tauranga Gold and Northeast Valley. Northeast Valley out of Dunedin took out the 1st. They have dropped the 2nd. Tauranga Gold taking that out. Bay of Plenty Centre champs. And now 1 end to decide this contest. Tauranga Gold in a huddle. Also just off screen, Northeast Valley likewise. All seem in very good spirits to Tauranga Gold. I think just trying to keep warm as the temperature drops a bit here at Naenae. Although they've got the thermals by the looks of it on under the t-shirt.
You won the toss. Oh, sorry. We thought you were still deciding. It was like, wow, this is a long discussion.
So who will decide the mat length, Brendan? Have you figured out? Looks like it's going to be the Tauranga Gold side. This will be crucial. Are they going to go short, medium or long?
I think I overheard Angela Stephen there saying that Northeast Valley won the toss. So I think they've decided to have the last bowl, and Tauranga Gold will decide the length. And looks like if they go on the shortest length, I think that's where that's been placed there by Cliff Webber.
Yeah, I believe it's a short length. It's certainly not long, and I wouldn't believe it's medium. It could well be the medium length from here, getting the judgment with my eyesight. There's about 3 metres between each of the short, medium and long, but I think it is probably a shorter length.
And had some joy with it just then, didn't we? So why not? Tauranga, worked for your previous end. Stick with that.
The most important bowlers in the tiebreaker are your leads and your 2. If they can set things up, it could be game over. But if they struggle, it could come down to the skips to try to win this game for their team.
Handy first up bowl from Caitlin Thomson for Tauranga Gold. Now Michelle Fallow is going to get back to the centre line pretty much, but comes up short.
So it's the turn to Caitlin Thomson now. Her second delivery. How close can she get it to the kitty? Crucial end this, the tiebreaker end.
Two pretty good bowls, while Northeast Valley holding shot with the first from Michelle Fallow. There's 2 bowls in behind the head. Might be very handy as this tiebreaker progresses. So Caitlin Thomson's done for this game, as is Michelle Fallow now.
All they can do now is watch. They can watch from the sidelines, they can give encouragement, but their day has finished now. There's no further bowls for them to be played. They'll be encouraging their twos to get close, give them a chance to win this tiebreaker.
And it's Angela Stephen for Tauranga Gold. Made sure she wasn't short. There's jack movement that could come into play. Jack has moved a lot in this match, so it wouldn't be surprising if it moves again in the tiebreaker end.
Keanu, Darby on the forehand.
No one's been able to get right on that jack yet to put pressure on either side. And it hangs out wide. Not happy with that one, and short too.
Angela Stephen now. It looks a better line and weight. Can it turn and track towards the kitty? Not quite. Oh yes, it seems that that is the shot.
Yeah, it just shows how far away the bowls are so far, doesn't it? That bowl, well, pretty much jack level, was good metre away is the shot. Wanting to make the correction from his first, Keanu Darby. Gets a little feather of a touch off his previous and tracks towards the jack, and that will be the shot just outside the circle there. Guide circles to help us in commentary.
Oh, a very good bowl from Keanu Darby there. He was under pressure to try and get the shot, and he's just done that. This is the tiebreaker end, and at the moment it's the Northeast Valley ahead, just with the one shot.
And it's down to the skips now. 4 bowls to play in this match. 2 for Cliff Webber, 2 for Sarah Scott, and importantly, Sarah Scott does hold the last bowl, so she will have the final say in this contest in the tiebreaker end. Cliff Webber on the backhand. Still has room to grab the shot. Has this got the weight? Urging it on is Angela Stephen. It's a good effort, and that is indeed the shot bowl. Wonderfully played by Cliff Webber, Tauranga Gold skip.
What a great bowl from the skipper for the Tauranga Gold team, Cliff Webber, to do that shot when it was needed in this very important tiebreaker.
And as Sarah Scott respond to that great bowl from her opponent. Looks in a decent area here. She might get the jack. In fact, she gets the shot bowl. Wonderfully executed.
Superb shot from Sarah Scott again. She's actually had 2 or 3 superb shots this afternoon, early evening, and she just rested that bowl out of the head, and now she has taken the shot. They're ahead 1. They've got the shot on this last and the most important end, the tiebreaker end.
Well, it's an exhibition between the 2 skips here. Can Cliff Webber do it again? He needs to repeat that previous bowl and put the pressure back on Sarah Scott. Otherwise, she will not have to play. Urge on again by Angela Stephen. Fair effort, not quite good enough though. It's shake hands time, and it's Northeast Valley who win the tiebreaker here to beat Tauranga Gold in a classic encounter at Naenae Bowling Club. In the end, Sarah Scott, the difference, the skip for Northeast Valley. Kevin, some fantastic bowls from her at the end of the first set, and then when it mattered most in the tiebreaker, that huge bowl to follow up what had been a great bowl from her opponent, Cliff Webber.
Oh, she certainly played well, and they deserved to win in the end, I believe, because she was the one that came through and wrested shots away and kept their team in the game, and she deserves a lot of the credit. But their numbers 1 and 2, of course, did their part throughout the game, but it was a great contest from Tauranga Gold as well. It was a very, very even game. Could have gone either way, and it was just a great spectacle to watch. Some very good bowls were played. But in the end, as you said, the North East Valley with Sarah Scott in fine form, got the last bowl to ensure that they won this game.
So a great win for North East Valley in the tie-breaker end. Still one game to come on day one of our coverage of the Bowls3Five National Interclub final. Stick around. Up next is the Temuka Magpies up against the Taradale Tigers.